You guys will never believe what happened. I'm working as a junior photographer at this sleek magazine in a buzzing metropolitan city, chasing my dream of capturing the perfect shot. And there's this guy, Marcus, my boss, the publishing executive with this commanding, polished vibe. Think silver hair, sharp eyes, and a voice that could sell a cover story in seconds. So, last night I was stuck at work late, and when a rainstorm hit, he offered me a ride home. What started as a polite car ride turned into something way more electric. Want to know how it played out? Keep watching, because this story is all about rainy nights and sparks that burn brighter than city lights. Like and subscribe for more. Chloe's life in the bustling metropolitan city of Cresthaven was a whirlwind of light and shadow. Each day a new frame in her quest to become a renowned photographer. Her small apartment was her creative sanctuary, cluttered with camera gear, photo prints pinned to the walls, and the faint scent of coffee mingling with city air drifting through the windows. Her latest photo series, a gritty shot of rain-slicked city streets, reflected her daring energy, its contrasts bold and vivid, much like her own desires. But lately, her lens kept focusing on Marcus, her boss at Cresthaven Pulse magazine, whose commanding presence had become a distraction she couldn't ignore. At 60, Marcus was a seasoned publishing executive with a polished intensity that had caught her eye since she started her job 6 months ago. His silver hair was neatly styled, his sharp gray eyes carried the weight of years spent steering magazines to success, and his hands, steady from years of signing contracts, moved with a calm precision. His "well done, Chloe" in the office, paired with a rare, approving nod, made her heart skip. She'd told herself it was nothing, just respect for a brilliant leader who'd built a media empire. But her daring streak, always simmering beneath the surface, pushed her to test the boundaries. And tonight, that streak took the wheel when a rainstorm stranded her. It was late, the magazine office quiet except for the hum of computers, the city outside alive with the sound of a pounding rainstorm. Chloe had stayed late to finish editing photos for an upcoming issue, her desk a mess of memory cards and coffee cups. The rain was coming down in sheets, and with no umbrella and the buses long gone, she was stuck. As she packed up, Marcus emerged from his office, his coat slung over his shoulder. "Still here?" he asked, his voice a low, warm rumble, his gray eyes catching hers in the dim light. She nodded, brushing her hair back, her heart pounding. "Yeah, got carried away. Didn't plan for a monsoon," she said, her voice light but tinged with frustration, gesturing to the rain-streaked windows. He glanced outside, then back at her, his expression softening. "Come on, I'll give you a ride home. No sense waiting out this storm." Her pulse raced, a mix of gratitude and something bolder. She hesitated, then nodded, grabbing her bag. "You're a lifesaver," she said, her tone teasing but charged. Her hazel eyes locked on his as they headed to his car. The rain hit harder as they settled into his sleek sedan, the city streets empty and glistening under streetlights. The car ride started with polite conversation, deadlines, photo shoots, but turned personal as the wipers beat a steady rhythm. Marcus asked about her photography dreams. Chloe shared her hopes of capturing the city's soul. The air between them grew heavy, electric, every glance and pause amplifying the tension. The rain blurred the world outside, leaving just the two of them, the hum of the engine, and their voices. Chloe's dangerous desires stirred, her heart pounding as she leaned slightly closer in the passenger seat. "Am I keeping you from a hot date or something?" she teased, her voice soft but daring, her eyes glinting in the dashboard light. He chuckled, his grip tightening on the wheel, his smile warm but guarded. "Only the good kind of detour," he said, his voice low, the moment simmering like the storm outside. The next morning, Chloe woke in her apartment, Marcus's voice lingering in her mind, her dreams tangled with the memory of the car ride, the way his eyes had held hers through the rain. She shook it off, blaming her impulsiveness, but her thoughts kept drifting to him as she headed to the magazine office. Work was busy, editing photos and prepping layouts, but every time her phone buzzed, she hoped it was him. Around noon, a text came through. That ride? Got me thinking. Impressive for a junior photographer. Her heart skipped and she smiled, typing back, just surviving a storm. Gotta keep you on your toes, right? His reply was quick. You're doing more than that. Coffee later? I owe you for the company. Her pulse raced and she hesitated, her fingers hovering over the keys. She should keep things professional, play it safe. But her dangerous desires urged her to chase the spark she'd felt last night. You're on. I'm at the cafe across the street till 4. Bring your best magazine story. That afternoon, Marcus walked into the cafe. A rolled-up issue of Cresthaven Pulse tucked under his arm, his grin disarming as he slid into a booth. Thought I'd bring a story. As requested, he said, passing her the magazine. His fingers brushing hers, the contact sending a spark up her arm. Chloe took the magazine, her cheeks flushing as she admired its glossy cover. You're spoiling me, she teased, leaning across the table. First car rides, now your prized issues. What's next? He shrugged, his gray eyes twinkling. Maybe I'm just trying to keep up with the photographer and the bullpen. You're making waves already. Her heart raced, and they talked. The cafe's hum fading as their conversation flowed. Her photo projects, his years running the magazine, the way their car ride had shifted something between them. The tension was a constant undercurrent, every shared laugh and glance adding to it. Chloe's mind wandered to the way the car had felt alive last night, the way his presence had warmed her, and she wondered how far she could push these dangerous desires. Your trouble, he said, his voice low, leaning forward, his elbow brushing hers on the table. One rainy night and you're already turning my drives upside down. She grinned, her heart pounding. Good kind of trouble, I hope. His smile was slow, knowing, a spark of mischief in his eyes. The best kind. They lingered in the booth, the magazine between them, and Chloe found herself opening up more than she'd planned. Her fears about her photos not standing out, her excitement about living in the city, her dreams of seeing her work in galleries. Marcus listened, his eyes steady, his presence grounding her like a well-crafted editorial. You've got something special, he said, his voice sincere, his gaze unwavering. Your photos, they're bold, like you. Don't let those doubts hold you back. The world needs your vision. Her heart swelled, caught off guard by his encouragement, the warmth in his words wrapping around her like a soft filter. Thanks, she said, her voice soft. That means a lot. The next day, Chloe's nerves were electric as she prepared for a magazine launch event at the office, where Marcus was unveiling a new issue. She'd volunteered to take photos, curious about his world, and wore a simple dress and sneakers, her camera slung over her shoulder. When she arrived, Marcus was arranging displays, his gray eyes lighting up when he saw her. Glad you made it, he said, handing her a stack of programs, his fingers grazing hers. Didn't expect you to be an early bird after last night. She grinned, adjusting her camera. Gotta keep you on your toes. The event was lively, staff and clients mingling under sleek office lights. Marcus's voice commanding as he introduced the issue. Chloe watched him, mesmerized by the way his hands moved, confident and precise, like an artist with words instead of a lens. When he helped her adjust a tripod, his hand brushing hers, her heart skipped, the contact electric. You're a natural, he said, his voice low, his eyes catching hers. Got an artist's touch even with setups. Thanks, she said, her cheeks flushing, their faces close. You're not bad at this, though you're terrible at keeping your distance. He laughed, stepping back, his eyes twinkling. Maybe I don't want to keep my distance. Her breath caught, the air charged with unspoken possibility. Careful, Marcus, she teased, her heart pounding. I might take that personally. His smile was slow, knowing. Maybe I want you to. The event stretched into the evening, and Chloe lingered, helping Marcus clean up. They talked about her photos, his favorite issues, the way their city felt like a living magazine spread. Every glance, every brush of their hands as they packed up added to the tension. A tightrope she was eager to walk. Over the next few days, Marcus became a constant in Chloe's life, slipping into her routine with an ease that thrilled her. He'd stop by her desk with extra photo proofs for her to review, his grin betraying the excuse. They'd text late at night, sharing snippets of their lives, Marcus's stories of launching magazines, Chloe's dreams of publishing her photo series, her shots taking on a new vibrancy inspired by their connection. Each interaction was laced with flirty tension, a push and pull that left her dizzy. One afternoon, Marcus invited her to a local gallery to browse photography exhibits, claiming he needed her eye for a new feature. "Thought you'd like the vibe," he said over the phone, his voice warm, "and I'd like your company." She agreed, her heart fluttering as she chose a top and jeans, her camera in her bag for inspiration. The gallery was sleek, walls lined with vibrant prints, the air filled with the scent of polish and creativity. Marcus was at her side, his presence steady, his stories of magazine launches making her laugh as they wandered the exhibits. They shared a laugh over a quirky photo, their shoulders brushing as they leaned closer, the contact electric. "You're good at this," she said, her voice teasing as they paused by a black and white print, making a gallery feel like a magazine spread. He grinned, pointing out a detail in the photo. "Takes one to know one." "You're not exactly boring, Chloe." She laughed, nudging him playfully. "Gotta keep things interesting." His eyes twinkled, and he handed her a gallery pamphlet, their fingers brushing, the moment stretching as the room faded away, leaving just the two of them. "This one's bold like you," he said, his voice low, his smile warm. Her cheeks flushed, and she smiled, her heart racing with her daring streak. She wanted to lean closer, to push the boundaries further, but she held back, savoring the spark, the way it made her feel like her photos were coming to life. One evening, Marcus invited her to his office for a private photo editing session, claiming he needed her input on a new layout. Chloe hesitated, her heart racing at the idea of being alone with him again. The memory of their car ride still vivid, but her curiosity won out. As she stepped into his office, the scent of ink and coffee enveloped her. The space a sleek mix of modern design and stacked manuscripts under soft lamplight. "Hey guys," Chloe said, her voice bright but with a playful edge, as if speaking to her imaginary audience, her eyes glinting with mischief. "We're about to get into this spicy portion of the story, so please don't forget to like and subscribe." She grinned, setting her camera on a chair, the air already buzzing with anticipation as she turned to Marcus, her heart pounding with her daring streak. They stood by his desk, a set of photo proofs between them, and talked her latest photo series, his layout plans, the way their car ride had sparked something new. The office felt alive, the memory of her bold move lingering like the scent of paper in the air. "Chloe," he said, his voice low, leaning forward, his eyes steady. "I'm not just here for the photos or the coffee runs. You know that, right?" Her heart stuttered, her breath catching, the memory of the car ride flashing in her mind. "I suspected." He reached out, his fingers brushing her wrist, light but deliberate, the contact sending a shiver through her. "Good, because I'm not good at pretending I don't want something. And I want to know you. Really, know you." She swallowed, her voice unsteady, her heart pounding with the thrill of her dangerous desires. "Your trouble, Marcus." "Maybe," he said, his thumb tracing a slow circle on her wrist, the touch sparking something new. "But you're not running. One rainy night and you're already breaking all the rules." She laughed, a shaky sound, and leaned into the moment, the heat of his touch igniting a fire in her heart. "Maybe I like breaking them," she said, her voice playful but honest, her eyes locked on his. He smiled, his eyes twinkling with a mix of amusement and something deeper. Good, because I'm starting to like it too. The following week, Chloe's life felt like a photo bursting with color, each moment with Marcus adding new depth to her story. The magazine office was busy, but he was a constant distraction, his presence lingering in her thoughts like a half-developed shot. He'd started leaving notes with his proof, small, handwritten things tucked into folders. Found a shot today that reminded me of you. Too bold for my pages? Or bet I can guess your favorite photo style by the end of the week? Hint, it's not portraits. Each note made her smile, her heart race, her daring streak growing with every interaction. Her coworker, Lily, noticed, cornering her at the office during a lull. Marcus, huh? She said, her tone teasing but cautious, her eyes narrowing. He's got you all flustered. Be careful, Chloe. And I'm just having fun, Chloe said, but the words felt hollow. Her mind replaying the warmth of his office, the spark of his touch. She wasn't sure what she was doing, only that Marcus made her feel alive, like a subject stepping into a perfectly framed shot. One night, they met for a quiet evening walk on a rooftop bar near the office. Marcus claiming he needed to clear his head after a long day. Thought you'd like the view, he said, his voice warm. And I'd like your company. She agreed, wearing a jacket and jeans, her hair loose, the rooftop glowing with city lights and soft music. The air was filled with the scent of cocktails and city dust, the skyline vibrant. Marcus was at her side, his coat brushing her arm, his stories of magazine triumphs making her laugh as they leaned against the railing. You're good at this, she said, her voice teasing as they paused by the edge, making a rooftop feel like a photo shoot. He grinned, his eyes catching the city lights. Takes one to know one. You're not exactly boring, Chloe. She laughed, nudging him playfully. Gotta keep things interesting. They stood by the railing, their shoulders brushing as they watched the skyline, the tension a constant undercurrent. Chloe's heart raced, her daring streak urging her to lean closer. But she held back, savoring the spark, the way it made her feel like she was living in one of her photos. One night, they met for a late-night coffee run at a 24-hour diner near the office, the city quiet around them. The diner was all neon lights and retro booths, the air filled with the scent of fries and coffee. They sat across from each other, sharing a plate of fries, Marcus's presence steady, his stories of quirky magazine pitches painting vivid pictures in her mind. But the tension was a constant undercurrent, every shared laugh and glance adding to it the memory of their car ride lingering like an undeveloped frame. You're different, he said, his voice low, leaning forward, his elbow brushing hers on the table. One rainy night, and you've got this. Fire. It's hard to look away. Her cheeks flushed and she tucked a strand of hair behind her ear, her heart pounding. Good. I don't want you to look away. His laugh was low, warm, his eyes twinkling with a mix of amusement and something deeper. Careful what you wish for. They lingered in the diner, the fries growing cold, and Chloe opened up more than she'd planned. Her fears about her photos not making a mark, her excitement about living in the city, her dreams of seeing her work shape stories. Marcus listened, his eyes steady, his presence grounding her like a well-edited feature. You've got something special, he said, his voice sincere, his gaze unwavering. Your photos, they're bold, like you. Don't let those doubts hold you back. The world needs your vision. Her heart swelled, and she smiled, caught off guard by his encouragement, the warmth in his words wrapping around her like a soft filter. Thanks, she said, her voice soft. That means a lot. They walked back to her apartment, the night air cool, the city's rhythm soothing. At her front door, Chloe turned to face him, her keys dangling, her heart pounding. The memory of their car ride, the bold move that had started this spark, flashed in her mind, and the tension between them felt stronger than ever. You're making it really hard to keep this professional, she said, her voice a mix of teasing and truth, her hazel eyes locked on his. Marcus stepped closer, his hand resting on the doorframe above her, his body close enough to feel his warmth, his presence steady but electric. "Professionals overrated," he said, his voice low, rich, carrying the weight of their shared moments. "What do you want, Chloe?" Her mouth went dry, her heart racing with the thrill of her dangerous desires. What did she want? Safety, simplicity, the life she knew? Or this him, the thrill, the fire he ignited in her heart? "I don't know," she whispered, but her eyes lingered on his lips, betraying her. The memory of their car ride, a quiet pulse in the back of her mind. He smiled, slow and knowing, his gray eyes warm but intense. "You do, and I'm not going anywhere until you say it." She laughed, a shaky sound, and stepped back into her doorway, clutching her bag like a shield, her heart pounding with the possibilities of her desires. "Good night, Marcus," she said, her voice soft but charged with unspoken promise. The spark between them brighter than the city lights outside. His laugh was warm, promising, his eyes locked on hers as he leaned back. "Good night, Chloe. But this isn't over." She closed the door, her heart racing, the memory of the car ride, their encounter, his touch lingering like a photo she couldn't develop. As she leaned against the door, she smiled, her heart ablaze with the thrill of what might come next, knowing she was ready to keep pushing the boundaries of her dangerous desires, one bold move at a time.